Almost 6 months later, many across East Tennessee are continuing their recovery from Hurricane Helene. Rain from the storm started into our area September 26th, and by the 27th caused evacuations and massive flooding in our region. Our Harry Sullivan and Aaron Rogers have been out in Newport all morning long. Harry and Aaron, there's a lot of progress this morning, but still a long way to go for many.
Yeah, good afternoon, Whitney. That's exactly right. There's still a very long way to go. But Aaron, it's pretty remarkable, but just looking around here, we're right in between Broadway and Main Street, right in the heart of Newport, really the business hub right here with so many restaurants and shops and banks. But basically everything waist down around us is all brand new.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the businesses had to absolutely gut the bottom sides of their businesses because of all of that water damage. Multiple feet where we're standing right now. It's remarkable to see, where we got from point A to point B already.
Yeah, so we want to show you a drone shot, and this really does a great job of showing you what it was like the day after those storms and what it looks like today 6 months later. I mean, first of all, just take a look at the color of the river. The brown from when it was the day after. Now you can actually see the bottom of some parts of the river. They've done a fantastic job to clean that up, and just the mud and dirt and everything in between that was thrown into the town all around us. Where we were standing was probably about waist deep of water. A lot of these spots have actually redone the base of their business. The windows that went floor to ceiling, now at least 2 to 3 feet of brick underneath to try to keep that from happening again. Now, there is still a lot of help happening here. FEMA says they are still working to help those affected by Helene. They say customer service teams are calling applicants with disabilities to see if they need help. Now, this could be a call, a text, or email. It may come from an unknown number, so try to do your research the best you can if you do get one of these calls, because scammers are still active in a disaster like this. As of Monday, FEMA says it verified nearly 15,000 registrations into the individual housing program in 8 counties, more than 2,500 right here in Cott County. And some roads certainly still damaged from the storm. TDOT says Helene damaged nearly 50 sections of road. All but 6 of those 50 are back open. Many of those roads just simply covered with debris. Some you couldn't even get through. TDOT says crews worked around the clock to clear everything, and they're still working to make sure all those roads can get back open.
As the next 6 months go forth, you'll see more of these roadways and bridges reopen. It's something that we're looking so forward to, and I know the folks who live in these areas are looking extremely forward to that. So just more progress is going to be taking place in these months.
Now, TDOT says they requested $510 million from the federal government to pay for these repairs. So far, they've received about $102 million. So that's more of the large-scale thing affecting the economy with roads and interstates, I-40 back open. But you think back to small businesses, and we talked a little bit about the heroes in all of this. And I'd like to think that some of the small business owners, to get their stuff back open, Aaron, are some of the heroes as well.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even where we're standing right now, the businesses behind us absolutely devastated by those floodwaters, still struggling to reopen, but that's not the case everywhere, and that is the good news. A lot of these businesses working really, really hard to get back open. Crown Credit, I talked to yesterday, they had seen a lot of damage from the floodwaters. The back of their establishment was actually the bulk of it because of the way the drainage systems work down here in downtown Newport. But what you're seeing on your screen right now is video of Snowbird. Now, that is the coffee and cafe shop right behind us right now. Now, they were one of the first businesses here in downtown Newport to open after those floodwaters just a few weeks afterwards. And you can see some of that damaged video right now of, where they were, where they are now. Lots of recovering businesses in this area, and that's some good news. But Jeff with Crown Credit did tell me that he was absolutely amazed by the amount of community effort, community support, all of the community just completely diving in to help each other out, even if they didn't know one another. So that was absolutely amazing, something I definitely noticed when I was, walking around town the last 6 months now.
Yeah, they've been sort of the heroes getting things back together, but it was really the heroes in the immediate minutes and hours after those floodwaters hit. The Cott County has told us about so many rescues, swiftwater rescues, trying to save people. Right now, the State Department of Safety and Homeland Security is putting a 3-part series out dedicated to these heroes. One first responder says he grew up going to Del Rio, visiting it, said he's never seen flooding like he did during Helene.
This water was hitting everything and houses, and it looked like ocean waves out in the middle. It would just have a 8-10 foot swell for no reason. So you couldn't just get in it and drive a boat across it or even take a boat down, because there were these gigantic 8-10 foot swells everywhere.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine just not even being able to cross the water, traverse the water to get to people who need the help they did. Officials say all the rescues couldn't have happened without the Tennessee Advanced Communications Network, also known as TACN. They're little green radios, the only link keeping first responders connected when those cell towers fail. Now, Aaron, you were one of the people that's really been on the forefront of being downtown in these businesses. What have you just seen since your time here over the last 6 months?
I mean, the sense of community, first off. I mean, meeting people in this area, talking with people, over the last 6 months, there's a really strong sense of community and togetherness here, which is absolutely amazing. But really the drive is something I've seen. You mentioned those heroes and, those small business owners I count as those heroes, working so hard to try and get back up on their feet, even without assistance, And, Snowbird that I mentioned earlier owned an ice cream shop across the street, and it was devastated by those floodwaters. And so they ended up having to sell the establishment. But being able to get back up on their feet for Snowbird and other businesses, and now a boutique is going to be opening there. So just some good news, lots of different small businesses now opening here downtown. So some good news for sure.
Yeah, it's just a taste of some of the stories we'll be telling you all day long. Coming up at 3:30, Casey Wheelis, Ted Hall, Lexi Lepoff, Jared Austin, live from Newport, from Hartford, from Del Rio, all across Cott County, marking 6 months from Helene. Certainly a lot has happened over the last 6 months, and certainly more growth and recovery will continue over the next 6 months. So we'll be live here the rest of the day. Stick with us on WVLT News. Whitney, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
Yeah, Harry, Aaron, we have so much more coverage coming up on WVLT, but it's an important reminder as time marches on, we can't forget about our neighbors who are still recovering from this disaster. Thanks to both of you.
Certainly.
Well, we do want to